I came to the house one day on the back of a stranger's bicycle. I didn't know who the stranger was. I did not have the first inkling of why I was on her bicycle. Neither would I have ever realized until I was older what it meant to my parents to see me off on this bicycle with a very nice woman who obviously was one of the underground workers. So I came. I don't know if it took many hours for the trip. I don't remember those details at 4. Knowledge was dangerous. And that's why, going back to the woman who took me on her bicycle, knowing now the way the underground worked, everybody was a cog, a tiny cog in a very large machine. And for them not to know anything beyond what they were doing, whether it was delivering a child from one address to another, or printing a flyer, or doing any number of hundreds of jobs. They were tiny jobs, and that person only knew what he was doing, and everybody had false names. And you couldn't give anyone away. So after I got to this house, there were no more explanations, and I was just kind of in some kind of a survival mode, and I lost my tongue and my appetite, and I was very homesick. I grew to love every one of these brothers, 5 brothers and 3 sisters. There was a lot of love going on in that house, but in a very stoic, non-demonstrative way. In the province of North Holland, it was a very heavily occupied area with Germans all around. And the Germans kept such incredible records that they knew who was Jewish and who wasn't. Holland was such a topsy-turvy place. You know, after the bombing of Rotterdam between the 10th and the 14th of May in 1940, there were a lot of non-Jewish people also displaced because they had been bombed out of their houses and everything was flattened, razed. So you had people looking for shelter and Jewish people on the run looking for hiding places and Germans coming and making house searches. So where I lived, they were constantly searching. I was Jewish and I was putting everyone at terrible risk. And their sons were conscript material. They were the age when the Germans would have taken them. And then, in addition to those major fears, the Germans took whatever they wanted. And if you were caught with a radio or anything that was contraband, you were in grave danger too. There was a little bit of panic each time, and I think they really had to get rid of me into some little corner of the house. So with enough warning, I was tossed into a bed upstairs in one of the bedrooms and covered me up with blankets. And my hair got covered that way. And it wouldn't raise questions about my appearance. And they would point to me and start coughing and saying TB, which is the same TB, whether it's Dutch or German, it's the European alphabet. And the Germans ran. It never failed. They ran. But we didn't always have a lot of time when they came. And so I don't know why, but there was a dunce cap in the house. And they kind of tossed me into a corner downstairs and put this dunce cap on me. It was a great big thing, and they would just go like that and point to me. And again, my hair was covered up because in some cases, Jewish children had their hair dyed so that they looked a little bit more Christian if they were not looking like the family. But I got to keep my natural color hair. I only had my religion and my names changed.